Hey boys and girls, I'm going to read another story to you tonight, and this one has been written and illustrated by Jan Brett. Have any of you ever heard of her before? She's done a lot of different stories. Maybe you've heard of The Mitten. That's a really cute story. And there's lots of other ones as well that she does. So next time you can go to the library or you can go onto different websites and look up stories, look for ones by Jan Brett. But tonight's story I have never read before. I didn't even know she had a book named The Mermaid. Now, even if you're a boy, stick with us and see if you enjoy the story tonight as well. All right? The Mermaid by Jan Brett. And she has lots of details in her illustrations, so I'm going to try my best to show them to you guys. But again, still might want to check the book out to take a look at it later. The Mermaid, title page. Under the sea, an octopus family got ready for a swim before breakfast. "Time to put on your new hat, baby," said Okasan. Baby did not like the floppy new hat. The hat was not happy either. And there's the baby. As the octopus family set off behind their house, a little mermaid spotted their front door. Kanairo had been drifting in a warm current with her pufferfish friend. "Take care," Puffer warned. "You never know who may live there." "But I am so curious," she said. Kanairo sashayed towards the seashell house. Do you see her down there with her pufferfish friend? Inside, breakfast had been set out. There was a great big shell, a middle-sized shell, and a little shell. Kanairo took a bite from the great big shell. "Too crunchy," she said. The little mermaid tried the tender bites in the medium-sized shell. "Too slimy," she said. Puffy could guess what was coming next. Kanairo sidled up next to the little shell. In a minute, the tempting tidbit had disappeared. "Just right," she said. "All gone," said Puffy, as he wondered whose breakfast it really was. Boys and girls, does this sound familiar to you? Like maybe you have heard The Mermaid before? Kanairo floated around the seashell house and saw 3 chairs. There was a big chair, a middle-sized chair, and a little chair. She sat down on the large coral chair. "Too many bumps," she said, as she smoothed her scales. Kanairo wriggled into the middle-sized chair. Down she went. "This chair is too slippery," she gasped. The little chair was the prettiest of all, and Kanairo sat on it. "Just right," she said, and she gave her fins a flippery flip. All that wiggling broke the chair to bits. Uh-oh. Kanairo was sorry about the pretty chair, but not for long, because in the next room she spotted 3 beds. She and Puffy had been swimming for hours and were ready for a nap. She swam over and settled in. "What sweet dreams we'll have," she told her friends. But someone had been eating in that bed, and there were smashed shells and crab claws all around. "This bed is too messy," she sighed. She flopped down on the middle-sized bed. "This bed is too squishy," she complained. As Kanairo patted her tiara, she spied the last small bed. It rocked like a cradle in the tide. She set her head down on a pillow star and fell sound asleep. Think something's going to happen? Soon, the octopus family returned over the sandy shoals. Right away, Oda-san saw his breakfast shell overturned. "Someone has been crunching on my crustaceans," he said, turning pink. Oka-san huffed. "My breakfast has been splashed." She turned pinkish too. Baby looked around for her breakfast, but all she saw was the upside-down shell. "Someone has been eating my breakfast, and there is nothing left for me," she cried. Oto-san saw that his coral chair looked different. "Someone has been sitting on my chair," he announced. Now even redder. Oka-san went from pink to red when she saw her chair. "Who has been squashing my chair and scattering my teacups?" she asked. Baby saw her beautiful chair all in pieces. The hermit crabs were taking it. "My chair is gone," she cried. Sensing something else was amiss, Oda-san squeezed into the bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed!" He blasted ocean water and kicked up the star-shaped sand. Puffy felt the ripples as Oka-san jetted toward her bed. The soft seaweed she liked to drowse in was tangled and torn. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," she said. Baby octopus peeked inside her tiny bed and saw a beautiful mermaid. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." The little mermaid opened her eyes. The adorable baby's eyes were soft and sweet. Her skin was shell pink. Her graceful arms danced. But she was wearing the oddest hat the little mermaid had ever seen. Kanairo, who didn't like to see anyone unhappy, gasped. "That will not do!" She thought about her tiara and had an idea. This isn't how I thought the story was going to go. Just then, all three octopuses reached for Kanairo with their 24 arms. Puffy was ready. He puffed up with all his might. Look at him. "Puffa, puffa, pokety poke, stickety stick." His sharp prickles did not let the octopuses near the little mermaid. Kanairo had just enough time to leave her gift before she darted away. Whew, it's windy. Did you guys see what her gift was that she left? I wonder. Kanairo, Puffy, and their new friend Eagle Ray swam away from the seashell house. They couldn't stop smiling about baby octopus's crowning gift. She looked radiant in her beautiful new tiara. Boys and girls, what did you think of this story? The Mermaid by Jan Brett. Like I said, I've never read this story before. But after about the first few pages, I realized this sounded very familiar to me. What is that story it reminds me of? Oh, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You know that one, right? Where Goldilocks finds a house. She goes in the house, which we know never to go into strangers' houses. but she tries their different porridge. She sits in their rocking chairs, and she even falls asleep in their bed before they come home. But when they come home and they say, oh, who's that sleeping in my bed? She runs away. Well, in this story, the little mermaid is like Goldilocks, right? And then the three bears, instead of the three bears, are three octopuses. Now, what's interesting to me is, I guess maybe this is one of those reasons we have to pay really close attention to detail. But if you look, here at the beginning, the hat that they're putting on the baby octopus, it's a stingray, or maybe just a, I don't know, maybe the word ray looks like it's a stingray or some kind. And it's tied on to baby octopus with seaweed. That's why it says the hat was not happy either, because the hat was a stingray. And then that's why at the very end, they're able to say that their new friend Eagle Ray swims away with them because they took Eagle Ray off of baby octopus's head and left the tiara for her, which is so sweet of her. That's way different from Goldilocks and the three little bears. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this story. There's some amazing words that are used in this story. Some big, beautiful, complex words like, let's see if I can find slippery, wriggled. What about cradle? And see if I can find squishy. Those are some wonderful words that Jan Brett uses in this story, The Mermaid. So boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story, and check back again soon because I'll post some more. I have a few more before I have to start digging into my old boxes. So I hope you enjoyed Jan Brett, The Mermaid. Have a good night, boys and girls.